this video, I'm going to share with you one question that can literally change the trajectory of what happens to you next month, next week, in the future. So, this is part of a series. I'm sharing the stories that helped me shape and see my own value super, super clearly. And this one is about my stepdaughter. So, with my ex, I had two stepkids, and they were 9 and 10 at the time when I met them, and I was with him for 10 years, so you do the math. And in that time, I got to spend a lot of time with them and bond with them, and they were kind of like my own kids, even though they were stepkids. And one of the things that struck me most about how my ex talked to them was that he would always assume the worst. He would always assume that that was never going to work, that they were going to fail. And he did the same with me. Like, his questions were all framed in the negative. Like, oh, did they ask you for a refund? Or did you have to do this? Or, oh, that didn't work out, did it? Like, he would always just be assuming it wasn't going to work. And he would do the same with his kids, which was really sad. But this one moment really stuck out to me. So there was this one time when my stepdaughter she was on summer vacation, she was bored, and she decided she was going to prepare some baked goods and try to set up a stand outside the apartment complex where we lived. And so she worked really hard. She set up these Rice Krispie treats, and she made all this stuff, and she was really excited about it. And then when her dad came home from work, she was like, look, I'm going to set up this bake stand. I'm going to do it outside the apartment. And he just looked at her and said, oh, there's not enough people here for that. That's not going to work. And he walked away. And you could just see her get deflated. She was like sad. Her head went down. She's like, oh, she's like, what am I going to do with all this now? And she looked at me. She's like, you want to eat some? And she was like, just so disappointed. And I was like, you know what? Like, who is he to decide that that's not going to work? It could work. So I was like, I thought it was a good idea. So I asked her this one question. I asked her, what if he was wrong? What if there were enough people here? I mean, you don't need that many people, right? So I asked her, what if he's wrong? I'm like, how could he be wrong, right? I'm like, what made you get the idea in the first place? Like, what made you think that it would work? And she started thinking. You could see the wheels in her head turning. She was like, well, she's like, I know at least like 50 people live here. She's like, and I know that, they probably have kids and families. And she's like, I know people live here. I'm like, right? Yeah. So I was like, and what if like even like 5 of those people were interested in buying one of your cupcakes or something? And I'm like, you could make $5, right? That would be pretty cool. $5 you didn't have yesterday. So she's like, yeah. She's like, it could work. She's like, I don't need that many people. It could work, right? So she starts changing her mind, right? So then I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. I'll help you get it set up. I'll help you bring out your stuff and set up the table. So she's like, okay. So she's like getting back on board with her idea. Her dad was one of those people that has a very strong negative presence. So when he's being negative about something, he can really like instill that burst of the bubble, especially because, it's your dad and you care about his opinion, right? So anyways, she's getting back on board with the situation. She's happy about it. So we go out into the elevator and we run into the mail carrier. The mail carrier sees her tray of stuff and she goes, ooh, that looks good. Can I have one? And my stepdaughter says with this cheeky little grin, she goes, yeah, but it's going to cost you $2. And so the woman's like, oh, well, good thing I have change. And she gave her a toonie. She took a cupcake and she left. And I was like tearing up at this moment. I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing that could have ever happened, because now she has a positive win and she can actually go out there and she's going to sell more. And she did. Like she made like $7 and it was so great. And I was like, imagine if she had let her dad squish her idea. Like, imagine if I wasn't there to like instill a new idea. Imagine if that had happened, right? That one experience in her life led her to so many things, right? She started thinking to herself, where could I do this where there's more people, right? She's like, because this works. She's like, I made $7. She was like the richest 12-year-old ever. She was so excited. And she was like, this works. She's like, I wonder where I could set this up where there's more people. And she ended up asking my parents to see if she could set up in front of their store. So my dad owns a furniture business and they used to have a store in a high traffic location. They don't now, but at the time, this was perfect. So she set up her little stand in front of their furniture store where there was lots of walk by traffic downtown, and she made a ton of money. Like there were days where she literally made over $100. And she was so ecstatic about this. And what kind of 12-year-old makes that kind of money? It's like that was instilled by the idea that she had. She had this idea, and then she was able to take it further because she was able to ask, get the right questions asked and keep going. And then she expanded on the idea and she enhanced the idea and she got to a place where it worked even better. And this is essentially the keys to success. We have to be able to see those doubts in our brain. So even if it wasn't my ex that gave her the doubt, we have these doubts that come up. We have a brilliant idea, and then our brain starts going, oh, but that'll never work because there's not enough people who are here for that, or there's not enough people who want that, or oh, maybe that's not going to work. And your brain will come up with those ideas, right? And it's your job to counter it and ask yourself, what if I'm wrong? How could I be wrong? What if it could work? What might it look like? And what's the bare minimum that I need to call it a success? And there you have it. So this moment taught me so much about asking questions. It was probably the moment where I knew in my heart and soul that I wanted to be a coach, because asking that question and seeing that result play out in her life and seeing how happy she was made me light up and say, oh my goodness, if I could do that for her, I could do that for other people by asking a simple question and by just energetically believing it's in something different to where they are right now mentally, right? And that's where I'm at now. Like that's what I do with my clients every day. So if you want to join, I'm doing a class this week, and it's called How to Value Yourself so you can finally make the money that you deserve. And their link is below. And I'm going to go over all the different ways in which you can communicate your value, in which you can question where you maybe been blocking your value up until now, and where you may be wrong about what you're believing, and how you can be much closer to a breakthrough than you even know, and how you can do it with just simple little tweaks to start with. And then you can expand on that and you can create more, and you can see what's possible and even create more for your life and your career and whatever it is that you want to do. Like, what do you really, really, really want? I really, really, really want to know. So if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, give me a thumbs down, and I'll see you later. And if you loved it, join my class and join me and we'll talk, because I want to hear your story and I want to know where you have been blocking yourself from the success that you want to have. I don't care how long you've been stuck. I don't care how many times you failed. I don't care about what happened before in this moment. So come and join me. I can't wait to meet you, and I will see you there. Bye-bye.